Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So Friday, July 2nd, and we are on our way to Bozeman, 250 miles away. First step, Hamilton.
Yes, 48 miles.
After our layover in Missoula, 3 days.
3 days.
So how are you feeling?
Well, my surgery for my tooth was actually painless. I was quite amazed, so I was very blessed. It turned out to be an awesome, strangely, experience. But I'm doing extremely well, so it's like in the past. So it's like nothing happened. So I'm very happy about that.
The interesting connection was that the reason we got in so quickly, etc., was that the surgeon was a cyclist. So before he took Louise in, he wanted to come and show me his bike, which was in his office because he rides to work. So the bicycling connection continues. So Missoula has been very interesting. It's been outrageously hot, record heat wave. So the afternoons were really quite a challenge to be outside. Although we did try to be outside and do some things. So we had a big storm yesterday night.
Yeah, with lots of wind, and after that it just poured, which was probably the best thing ever because the heat to prevent fires and all that. And on Tuesday when we got to the hotel, there's a gentleman that was following us, and we chatted with him for X amount of time, and he said let's meet again for dinner, so which we did yesterday with his wife Chuck and Don, which was very interesting to hear their stories and all of their trips. So it's always positive to encounter bicyclists to hear their stories.
Yeah, and he's a lawyer that is planning on retiring within a few years, in mid-50s, and they just want to sell the house and travel the world with their tandem. So doing this more for a few years, just full time. So very interesting to think through the challenges and the opportunities there.
Yeah.
At the same time, we brought our bikes. We went to Adventure Cycling headquarters, and then we brought our bikes over to Open Roads bicycle shop for a tune-up, clean the drivetrain, adjust everything, and can really feel the difference.
And I needed a new.
It'd be very nice. But the bicycle trails and system and the culture in Missoula really comes through because we can see everybody respects the cyclists at the crossings of when the trails crosses the road, etc. So
lots of people just use their bike to go to their office. I mean, it's pretty amazing to see how active this city is, and with the bike trail system and all that. So it's very
and you can use your bike year-round. So that's the other thing.
Let's move on.
Okay, so let's have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Morning, Louise.
Good morning.
Saturday, July 3rd.
Look at this view.
Going down the Bitterroot Valley, Montana. 10,000 feet summit over here. One of the key features of the landscape, other than the big mountains, are the mountainsides that are bare. I don't know if you can see these, but there was a big fire that came through in 2001 and burned a lot of the valley here. And you can see that after 20 years, it's still struggling. The bottom part probably did not get burned, but it's still struggling to recover. Here at the base of the major climb, I think it's called the Chief Joseph Pass. How are you feeling, Louise?
Feeling good.
Okay, so we started, I think, about 2,500 feet or maybe 3,000 feet elevation. We're now over 5,000, and so it was a very gradual, rise and a change in elevation. So, but now over 20 miles, that is. And right now we are going to, over 7 or 8 miles, climb at least another 2,500. So it's going to be...
It's getting hot.
Yeah, it's going to be a good climb. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be a good climb. So we left early this morning. We have 24 miles done, but it's...
Had a good breakfast.
Yeah, we had a good breakfast, a good second breakfast, and now it's 10 o'clock. So maybe a bit later than what we wanted to hit the pass, but that's the way it is. So let's go enjoy.
So we ended up booking at the lodge in Wisdom because we hear that it's the capital of mosquitoes. So I guess the tent was not an option.
Yeah, there's a beautiful campground that's free by the Lions Club, right by the creek.
But so many people told us that it's terrible.
Yeah, so the cyclist said if you're not riding at 12 miles an hour or higher, they will still attack you, not just when you're stopped. And the locals explain it by there's a lot of flooded fields for irrigation. They don't irrigate by spraying. They actually just flood the fields. And I guess that's the breeding ground for the mosquitoes. So
definitely.
So we heard it enough times. Even at breakfast, somebody overheard us discussing the plans, and he said, "Don't do it. Don't camp. You will regret it." So that was enough, I guess.
So we're going to enjoy a good mattress tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Have a good one.
Well, to add to the challenge that we have, so we're at right now at about halfway point, where we've had this strong headwind, which just subsided as I started the video. That's great. But it's definitely been an additional unwelcome challenge. Would have been nice to have a tailwind up here, but that's the way it goes. It's beautiful scenery. This is the part that was not burnt, I guess. It did not burn. It's beautiful, beautiful forest. The wind doesn't seem to be affecting Louise as much as me. Wink, wink. So here we are, 1 mile from the summit where the rest area is. And here's a ski center, pretty far from all major centers, so it's a bit hard to see how they could survive, but I guess there must be enough people coming up here. And people ask, how do you climb? How do you actually climb these mountains loaded, etc.? Well, it's like the same way you eat an elephant, small, one bite at a time. So I break it down into 1 mile increments. Try to stop every mile. Gives me a short-term goal. And I obviously in my small chain ring here, and in the back, I go usually in the second and third, which keeps me approximately between 5 and 7 miles an hour, so in the 5s and in the 6s. And when I get a strong gust of headwind, then it forces me to put me to shift to my granny gear, and then gets into the 4s. So pretty slow move, but that's how I do it. And alternating also with standing a bit, just use different muscle groups, and that works.
I'm so proud of you, babe.
Yeah,
With that
same here.
headwind, I've been using my level 3 and 4. It's pretty incredible, the challenge we had this morning. So
Yeah.
only 1 more mile to do, up, and after that it's downhill, supposedly.
Yeah, downhill all the way. We are still at the Lost Trail rest area, the summit of the Chief Joseph's Pass, I think it is, and we from the very sunny conditions, blue sky, we now have some rain, so it's going to cool things down a bit, which will be nice, and hopefully it won't rain continuously after, but we'll take it.